In the top left corner of the map, it is our purple Zerg player, JJ's TrapDorSpida.
Interesting. In the bottom right of the map, good guy Omee subbing for Mr. ZRQ today. It is DJ's Omee in the bottom right.
So TrapDorSpida said, basically, I'm assuming, F your couch.
F your couch.
And I'm not sure if he meant, I don't know what he meant. We're just going to move on from there and pretend like it didn't.
Right.
Oh dear. Trap's internet is very much freaking out a little bit on us.
It's not me this time, surprisingly.
Looks like we might be getting a little bit of a laggy game. This is pretty brutal if this happens in a CVZ, by the way. There's a lot of micro you need to do this matchup real well.
Right. Requires a lot of control, especially Ling-Baneling compositions.
Oh, Omee responds that his relationship with his couch is his business. Fair enough.
Oh, this is very fair. So that's a private thing.
Yep.
Details, but private right. Thing right. Safe to say that I am the potato of the relationship.
Not the couch?
No, the couch is not the potato. I am the potato.
We have a drone wandering the base up here. And spawning pools kind of at the same time for both players. Trap going for a little bit quicker gas.
Gonna push for that early speed, I think.
Also picking up his hatchery in just a moment here, just slightly behind Omee. Both players should end up at about the same place, though, fairly soon, as long as Omee actually picks up gas.
Yep, they both opt for a hatchery. Follow-up. So, pretty standard. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Omee now dropping his extractor to pick up gas himself.
So yeah, it looks like I think the next question will be from here whether they intend to stick around on the Ling side of things for a little while, or push up into Roaches. Either can really happen. Kind of goes the usual phase of like kind of the usual strategies that you see in a ZVZ is pretty much the Ling battle, then the Roach battle, then the Roach battle plus other things battle, and then if things go super long, oh my gosh, Chris.
Can you hear?
Yeah, pretty clearly.
Hey.
But anyway, yeah, the next stage that comes after that can be Swarm Host Broodlord, basically. That only happens very, very rarely, but when it does, it's excruciating. So hopefully we don't get there.
Let's hope so.
It's also possible to have mutas appear somewhere in the middle of that. Usually not for too long, just until both sides are like, okay, spores everywhere. Let's go back to Roaches.
Well, especially that's a good thing. Roaches can't spit up, so if you can surprise your Zerg opponent with mutas, I think that'd be great. They don't do a lot of damage to Roaches, though.
No,
they're
just for damaging the economy and then doing something else.
Right.
Ooh. But it looks like we're going into the Ling stage. There's the Baneling Nest from Trap. Actually a pretty excellent choice given the presence of lag. Microing around them is going to be quite a bit more difficult.
Yeah, but that delay means everything. I do remember playing. It's tough to play as Protoss and that sort of lag too. That requires a lot of micro. Contrary to popular belief, of course. The whole probe in a chair thing.
Gathering up on the high ground here. Getting ready to move out. Nice positioning on the Overlords from Omee. He's going to see this. Sees those two, at least. Knows that his opponent has speed. Should be something of a concern. Hello, random drone just kind of hanging out here. Looks like he's going to check for the third. So Trap is typically, from what I've seen in most of his matches, tends to be more of a passive player. Usually does for the scout, builds an army to cover a third base and then goes for it. We'll see if he decides to be a little bit more aggressive this time.
I think in ZVZ you have to be a little more aggressive than both of you being Zerg. I mean, you could sit back for 14 minutes and both go up to a third base, but it's just smarter to strike while the iron is hot, for lack of a better term.
Yep, Omee is doing that too. 28 links coming out. Both players going to be at pretty similar numbers, actually. Both kind of have speed, I think.
Yeah,
I have to admit, I actually don't mind the Swarmling Raptorling thing because it's super obvious when they have speed. Great positioned Spinecrawler right here. Omee's going to run forward to try and do something about it. He's going to run into a bunch of links from his opponent. Does cancel the Spinecrawler, but he also saw the Banelings down there. And this is going to be pretty interesting to micro against in just a few minutes here. We've got the 2 more Spinecrawlers coming up at the front, as well as 3 Queens. That's a lot of tanking against those Banelings, actually. 24 more links coming up. Both players going to Roaches. He's going to get there a little bit first. For his opponent, Ling's trying to slip into the main base. Not quite able to make that happen. Decent surround happens right there. Kills off 1 Spinecrawler as well as 1 Queen. Some of the Lings, but not too many. And Trap's going to get surrounded out at the front of the base.
Oh, good catch by Omee there. He did have the home defender's advantage, actually. He had several Spinecrawlers, I think, changed a lot of that, too. It made it harder for TrapDor to engage there.
Looks like both players are transitioning up into the Roach stage now. Omee is going to run across the map with all of his Lings and try and get some damage done right here. He's going to get in before the Banelings are done. And should actually be able to get a lot done unless Trap can delay just a little bit here.
Ooh, they're going to pop. They're going to pop.
Or the Banelings do survive through that. And he's going to run up here. Kills off one of the Queens. Yes. The other one's running up trying to do some damage. Only a couple Roaches here. And there isn't really enough here to actually deal with all this. He might lose the spawning pool. He's lost an evolution chamber. Yeah, spawning pool is definitely going to go down as well. And Trap is taking a pretty huge amount of damage. He's just going to continue the pressure. Go down and attack the drone line. Drones respond in kind. Beat the crap out of the Lings. More or less.
Yeah, those Lings did a lot of work. I mean, the spawning pool's gone. Evo chamber, wasn't that working on +1?
I don't know if it had any upgrades. I didn't see a bar above it or anything.
Okay.
Pretty frustrating nonetheless. Does at least have the Roach Warren up so he can continue to build that army up. But doesn't need that spawning pool if he ever wants to tech switch later. Double evolution chamber going down for Omee, as well as a third base. Army supply is still somewhat equal though as a result. He's not trying to push his army advantage just yet. Just pressure, grab economy. Pressure, grab economy. Roach lead actually goes to Trap by a little bit.
Yep, looking at 17 to 15.
Me going for the double upgrades. Checking around the map for a third. Nope, he's just splitting up in front of here and he's going to go into the base. Sees the Roaches at the top, sees that the number's about the same. Overseer coming out. And yeah, Omee's just going to be content to put himself in position to pressure a third if one appears. There's a drone moving out right now. +1/+1 is still halfway to being finished. 7 more Roaches coming out for Trap. Omee can run forward and cancel this, but he won't be able to engage the army. So we'll have to see if he decides to do that here. So what do you think in our current position here? Trap took a lot of damage early on, but doesn't seem to be hobbling him too much. These upgrades could be an issue, though.
Right, the upgrade advantage is a big thing, especially in ZVZ when the unit compositions are very similar. Less Roaches can do more damage with a little bit of a hiccup there. Yeah, I think the missile attacks are really going to come into play here, especially if Omee chooses to push soon after he's dumped couple hundred minerals into a third base.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Spire Tech. Okay. 1/1 Roaches. The numbers start to increase as they are. Omee will take a rather equal looking fight really, really one-sidedly. By the way, This is the longest lag spike. Arg, says Trap. Roach is moving out. This is actually about the only time that Trap could hit right now and do a huge amount of damage. Just before that's come out, just when the roaches are split up around the
Ooh,
map.
but move command.
Move command for only a moment though, and then Ling's coming up to assist, so they're really really far out of position. Only running around behind the roaches. He needs to keep pressuring this until kill as many of these roaches as he possibly can, but he doesn't realize the urgency of the situation. Probably the only thing he's thinking about right now is lag everywhere.
His roaches are moving slower than normal.
But yeah, he has not rebuilt those Evo chambers. I'm not sure if he realizes he lost them. And now Omee is 1-1 against his opponent's 0 upgrades. But the only thing that could help Trap out in this position is a compositional advantage of some kind, which would be Hydras, Infestors, or really nice Baneling Mine. But it would take something pretty extreme. Well, lag seems to be getting a little worse.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a little bit difficult to... It was working so well earlier. Nope, drone transfer here. Moving over to this third base. Omee sees everything.
Trap saying it was working so well earlier. Oh, but everyone has those days. I had it too when I tried the stream transistor.
Yep, and today just happened to be mine.
Yep. So decent spread of overlords around the map for Omee. Considerably less so for Trap. So much less eyes on the map right now. And this overlord, actually, if it was positioned slightly further to the left, would be able to get a good eye on all these army units that are running by, but unfortunately does not see anything. Does see a couple overseers moving out, which could be a sign, but yeah, Lings get here very far ahead of the army. Trap not paying too great attention. He's going to go and respond to this attack. Trying to kill the queen first. Ling's going to engage. Is he even going to get the queen, actually? I don't know. Yeah, he's being forced out. Turn's already been pulled. In the positioning here, Omee is going to attack up in between the two bases. 10 Hydras coming out.
Yep, 5 mutas on the way as well.
And now we're going to look at that upgrade difference. Here we go. For Omee, it's a little bit of an advantage here. And we're looking at slightly larger numbers of roaches, though, at 23 over 18 versus his opponents. So upgrade's not quite enough to give him that fight right there. 4 changelings running forward.
Oof.
Hasn't noticed them yet. He's going to run forward to the army. Hydras are here now. I really do not like Omee fighting right here. He's actually going to lose most of these roaches just to kill off, just to focus down some of the Hydras. He is transitioning into Mutalisk, so it's going to help out a little bit with that, but... I don't know what to say, guys. It's very hard to cast when the action keeps randomly stopping.
Yeah, not much we can do.
No, it happens, though.
He did warn us beforehand.
Love Mutas.
Mutas are here. It's going to change. If they can snipe off those Hydras, it's going to be a short trip.
But he knows about the Mutas now. He's building Omee's building an infestation pit. But he's gonna work up to Hive so he can get 3-3. Maybe go up into Ultra Tech. And Trap is kind of not doing anything, actually. I think his lag is finally reaching the point where he might be actually unable to play.
Yeah, nothing in the production tab.
Oh dear. Oh, that wall. Let's see here. He's trying to build overlords. Trap.
Oh, come on, Trap. Hang in there.
If he requests a pause for a moment, I won't blame him to try and see if we can clear any of this up. But yeah, until he says something, we're just gonna have to let him go. I'm so sorry about lag.
Yep. No, it's perfectly fine.
Happens. Nothing we can do about it. Probably. Link's moving out.
Trying to, anyway. So he's got Hydras. He's got the right counter to Mutas here, and they're on the way to his main base. It doesn't look like he's going to have enough Hydras, though, once by the time these get here. He's going to see this, because it's going to poke his Overlord, but... 10 Hydras on the way. Do you think that's enough to stop these?
Well, it's going to discourage it. Because it's like one of those things where you see a small ball of Marines and you think to yourself, well, I can probably attack that with my mutas. And you go ahead and do so, and then you lose half of them. So it's intimidating. Which is why you're not going to see him try and fight that directly. And there's no reason to. There's no reason to run the risk. Run around the map, look for more things to pick off.
Right, especially these Overlords. He's terribly supply blocked right now.
Now he's trying to focus the Overlords down. Yeah, did lose a couple to the Hydras from doing that. But the thing is, the real question is, can he deal with the Swarm Host transition? Which we got a bunch of those coming out, as well as Locust Swarms, and he's pushed him all the way to the back of his base. Once the Swarm Hosts and Roaches get down here, he can start hitting from multiple angles. If he leaves this location up here without any Spore Crawlers, the Mutalisks will start to ransack his base. And this is getting more and more grim for our Purple Zerg player.
Yep, Omee taking another base with 2 hatcheries. He's pulling ahead quite far. It's gonna be tough to see this happen here. So, Swarm Hosts are gonna pretty much decimate this ground army. He doesn't have any AOE.
No, yeah, he won't have. This is gonna be frustrating to deal with. He's getting detection right here above the army. He doesn't have that either, so he can't run forward to snipe off the Swarm Host, which would be about the only thing he could do. And Omee's gonna just reposition further up, right under here, so he can take out the third base.
Muta's back in the main base, picking off all of these Overlords. It's going to stint the production while sieging the other base.
And Trap's actually responding to this okay, except that, no, well, he doesn't have anything to deal with the Locusts. So he's just losing, pretty much going to lose the workers at this base. He's already knocked it down to half health. Here comes another wave of Locusts that are being incredibly indecisive about what to attack, actually. Kills off the remainder of the drones, and... Spore Crawlers dying down from Bear, but here comes the army. Actually, nothing here to protect the Swarm Hosts at all. And he's going to burrow them, try and get some Locusts out, which will help. It'll buy some time for them to leave, but he did lose 2 Swarm Hosts in the process here.
And the Roaches come back to reinforce. Body blocking for the Swarm Hosts.
2 more of them go down, 3 more of them go down. Interesting choice from Omee, but it may be resulting in him just losing the army engagement straight up. Unfortunately, Trap's going to lose that third base. 4 Mutalisks still in play, able to make that happen. And the entire Swarm Host army goes down.
It's an expensive loss for Omee. I mean, TrapDor pushes right now.
Looks like that's exactly what he plans on doing, actually, and that's a sizable army. It's going to be hard to fight. Here comes 12 Roaches, though. He does have 2-2 over his opponent, so if we can mass up any kind of sizable force here, he should be able to hold out.
Right, this is sort of a last desperation push for Trap. Drone transfer over here. He's going to try and sack these 2 hatcheries, but I think the response from the army is going to be too much.
Here comes the engagement here. Does have a few Mutalisks to help out. Trap actually running forward and giving additional chances to attack the enemy Roaches, which you really shouldn't do here. This is the one situation where you don't want that to happen because your primary DPS advantage is in the Hydras, but yep, that's GG. Nobody refill that. So unless he could take a perfect engagement, there was probably no way he was going to do it.